Welcome back to Crazy Dave's Crew. I'm Laura, and you're watching Thursday Threads. So I was out shop hopping, picking up my Stonehenge blocks for the block party, and we were in Rocky Face, Georgia at the so-and-so shop, and I saw a pineapple quilt that she had in the back, and I just fell in love. So I had to go get this tool to help me make one. I told him I had to learn how to make one. So here we go. Looks so complicated, but it isn't really. Because we picked up a Creative Grids pineapple trim tool. And there are two sizes. I got the bigger size. This is for the 6, 8, and 10 inch blocks. Has nice instructions. This was really good purchase. I'm very pleased with this. And I am completely in love with these blocks. And I did them alternating in honor of Independence Day, 4th of July. So what do we need to get started? You need an accurate 2.5 inch block to begin with. And I like my 2.5 inch ruler because then I can just measure it and trim all different directions, and I know that this is a really good 2.5 inch square. Then you need the strips, and these can be scrappy. These can be 30s reproduction. So pretty at the shop. But I've got red, whites, and blues, and I have cut them anywhere from 1 3/4 inches to 2 inches. Much more than that, you're going to be wasting a lot. But hey, if it's in your scrap box, go for it. I've already cut some little 2-inch wide squares to be 2.5 inches long. So to begin with, I'm simply going to take my first round and sew them on here. I am using my piecing foot. It is my go-to. And then we'll put it on the other side. So I'm going to put this little white on all 4 sides. So there's a lot of starting and stopping. This is definitely a block that I think you would want to use the assembly line method. So make sure you've got plenty of starters and stoppies, leaders and enders to keep your thread from coming out. But I'm certainly okay with having a number of these because these are just wonderful. So now you have round 1. And here's where the tool comes into play. And it tells you wonderfully on here exactly where to put things. So you're going to see here centering square round 1. This is the white square. And we're just going to put that right there. This line comes down. I want that to come to the angle point. So we're going to be right in the center there. You're going to do this to all 4 sides. And then the neat thing about this is you can decide how big and how small you want it to be. I went through and kind of pre-cut. After I'd done a couple of them, I decided, ooh, let's just make up a bunch of my cuts. So I did that. I cut up a bunch of my strips for what size I knew I was going to need. Of course, you're going to see here where your 1/4 inch seam. So you should have some pretty good points. So we have round 1. My next round is going to be red. And what size do I need? Well, I'm going to want it to go. I'm just going to want to cover from here. And it doesn't have to go all the way to the end, but I do. For the first few rounds. So this is about 3 1/4 inches. That's a little bit bigger, but that's okay. And now I'm just going to sew these down. And you can pin or not pin, whatever you're comfortable with. The first few of these I did, I pinned. And we're going to put another one. So far, so good. Press, and we'll add the other ones. Okay. We're going to match it up to the white. Just going to go across the white for these two sides. And now we've finished round 2. And now we get to use the trimmer tool again. So if you look, turning it this way, it says centering square round 2, right here. So we're going to put that dotted line that says square round 2 on our center square. As best we can, and try to line up the white center line directly through the point. I love this mat, don't you? This is wonderful. By the way, I just wanted to mention, I have been seeing on Facebook and some of my sewing groups, some ladies who have dropped their rotary cutter or different things, and they've had some nasty accidents. So I just want to point out to you, I've got a safety, okay, because it doesn't open up until I squeeze it. And when I let go, it goes inside. I can lock it so it won't open at all. I unlock it and it will open. So I would recommend that heartily for everyone. Definitely get yourself a safety rotary cutter. One that has some sort of a safety grip, that the blade is only exposed when you're gripping it, or you have to be holding a button or something, so that should you drop it, your hand releases and the blade will retract. All right, so we've got round 2. Now let's do round 3. And this time we're just gonna, so we don't have to be, 100% accurate here. All right, so this is, let's see here. 1, 2, 3, 4, about 4.5. And I'm going to need 4. So I'm going to cut this twice. There's 1, 2. Put this aside. My white on white makes it difficult to see, but you can always tell a little bit. It's a little bit more blurry on the other side and a little bit more crisp. But I don't think the person I'm going to be giving this to is going to be examining it too carefully. And again, I'm following right along with the instructions. The instructions were wonderful, showing you exactly round 1, round 2, and now we're doing round 3, and it's showing us how to place it and then how to cut it. You can't, this is definitely a 5-star between the instructions, the quality of this is really nice. And I was thinking how pretty this would be if I just used some pastels and then some flowers, alternating it with some pastels and flowers. Again, just need to cover up this part of it. There's another size of this tool, and it does like, I think, maybe 4, 5, and 6 inch blocks. And it is on my wish list of things to buy soon. I want it. I think it would be fun to use up some of my scraps in the little one. Guys, and maybe try to get some flowers and plain colors. Put my florals in one box and my plain colors in another box, and you never know what you're going to pull out. It would be a surprise pineapple. So this is, we had 1, 2, this is round 3. So now we're going to see that here is a line right here. And it says 45-degree angle trim line rounds 3, 5, and 7. So you're going to put this white line on this square right here, making sure this center line goes through your diamond, your center square, and this white line is going to be matched up to your first round here. Does that make sense? Now you're going to see we're going to be cutting off a little bit of our red, and that's okay, that's what we want. And again. And there it is again. So now we have completed rounds 1, 2, 3. Let's do round 4. So I've already got these cut. Okay. And yeah, you guessed it, we're just gonna cover up that white, corner to corner. I think one of the things I like about this one, it's very forgiving of cutting errors. It corrects it because you're trimming it after each and every round. And now let's do the other sides. Sewing it down. And by the way, if you're worried about this chain piecing, that, you know, the threads aren't going to hold or that they're going to come undone, you can always do just a back stitch or two before the start and at the end of each one. I'm alright with it because I know when I start piecing all the stuff together and then when it gets quilted, it's all going to get reinforced. Alright, so now we've done rows 1, 2, 3, and 4. And I think you can figure out that the next row is going to be white, etc., etc. So for round 4, let's go ahead and cut this one, because you need to really be watching on your ruler here. So if you see right here, it says center square round 4. Okay? So center square around 4. This one's 2, this one's 4. So we are going to line this one up here. Round 4 is going to be on the center square. With your white line going straight through the points. That's good. And we could stop right there if that's what we wanted to do. Well, I want to take it on further, but I think you get the gist. So the next row would be 5. You're going to use this line. And then you have a square here for round 6. And then you have round 7. And then you have round 8. So here's one that I have all the way through 8. And it's great. I love it. But now what? Well, I'm going to show you. You're going to need a 2.5 inch by 4 inch piece. And again, you're going to be trimming it down. Let's do it this way. So this is 2.5 inches. And you are going to need 4 pieces. Two, three, 4. One, 2, 3, 4. So now I am going to, and the instructions call it rabbit ears, which I think is kind of cute. And we're just going to put those right here. So let's sew our rabbit ears down. I will tell you, I don't believe that this is a fast, do it in a weekend thing, because it's a lot of up, down, cutting, sewing, pressing, and squaring up. But I also don't think it's too bad. It's a nice sized block. The going the 8 rounds will give me the 10-inch block, and I really think this is going to make a really nice quilt of valor. I said, go with the 30s reproduction fabrics. I think it'd be marvelous. Pastels, calicos. I just think it'd be great all the way around. Okay, but we're not done yet. Almost, but not done. Not quite. So we're going to find our centering square round 8, which is right here. And again, we'll just kind of try to match that up as best we can. Get that in the center. Right. And we're going to just cut that. Rotate it around. Round 8. And there it is right there. This is just so marvelous. Don't you love it when everything just comes together, fits together beautifully? And one more. found 8 goes in the center. It is a non-slip. They've got these little things on here to help keep it grip. There are some times though when I think it grips too well, but I guess better that than slipping. I really like this tool. And now we have finished a red, white, and blue Quilt of Valor pineapple block, ready to be put together with the others. Be sure to check the description for a helpful link to some of these products. Like I said, I can't recommend this enough, or the safety grip on the rotary cutter. Two very important ones. This was just marvelous. Really good purchase on my part. I am very happy with how this works. I did mess up the first few times, but then you know what? That's okay. Because I have a wonderful husband who took me back down to Joann's, and I was able to get more of the fabric. We'd love to see pictures of your pineapple quilt or just anything that you're working on. So be sure to look for us on Facebook under Sewing and Crocheting for Beginners and Crazy Dave's Crew. You can also find us on the internet at cdcrew.com. We'd love to hear from you. We like to see pictures, try to be encouraging, inspiring each other. And if you have not already subscribed, please be sure to change that subscribe button from red to gray and click the bell so you're notified when new videos are published. I hope you've enjoyed this. There's no way you enjoyed it as much as I did. I am really looking forward to getting this put together. I hope you're having a wonderful day, a wonderful week. Have lots of fun sewing. Be adventurous. Don't be afraid. And we'll see you next time, right here on Crazy Dave's Crew.